This video brought to you by our frequent flyer subscribers. If you would like to support the channel, please consider joining our frequent flyer program at twitch.tv/NovaWing24.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Challenge Tuesday with me, your host, NovaWing24. How are you all tonight? Welcome, everybody. I see my chat has been very busy tonight. By the way, I don't know whether happy is the right one, but happy Battle of Britain Day today, the 15th of September, marking 80 years since the great aerial conflict that raged above the skies of the British Isles. And yeah, it's a very historical event, or series of events, and I think it's an important day that we should all reflect on, and the importance, but the importance of sacrifice, but also the futility of war, which is why I pretty much prefer using civilian flight simulators, even though I very much work in the defense space. But yeah, it's just words to think about. Interestingly enough, I'm a big supporter of the Royal Air Force heritage, the Royal Air Force Museums and Heritage Society. And I've competed in 2 of their virtual races so far this year. So I did the Hurricane 80. We did 80 kilometers of running over the course of a couple of days, supporting that was their first challenge of the year, and the Spitfire 10, which I did last weekend. So yeah, kind of cool, but yeah, interesting things. So, but yeah, we will probably talk about that tonight. It may influence where we go tonight after our landing challenge. But let me first catch up on chat here. So as I said, hello to everybody. XDigby, by the way, yes, XDigby did win the first chatter in the chat tonight award, so congratulations to you, sir. While Sim loads in the background here. Strayada, good evening, welcome to the stream. XDigby, hello, welcome to you as well. Aladdin, sorry, yes, you were beaten. Hello, Kiwi, hello, welcome to the stream. Paul Osman, and hello, welcome. Ozflyer, hello as well. Oh, Mr. Wookie, he has got the conductor of the hype train going on there today. That is awesome. Coffee with honey, yeah, excellent. I see you got your honey again there. Because well, you know, we exactly we did settle it, didn't we? Just going through Physic, hello, welcome, great to see you. Looking forward to seeing your antics later in the stream tonight. Alright, so this is great. That is awesome. Oh, thank you, XCB. Yes, thank you. For anybody who does want to join the Discord, I see Osmond has already put the command up there. So yes, that is the link for our Discord. It is great to have everybody here. It is great. That's awesome. Just going through here, sacrilege. Thank you very much to Saka Squad, Captain Fingerpaint, Rockview, and Necrosapien for hosting the show tonight, the episode tonight. It's great to have you. Thanks very much, guys. Yes, it is also the 20th anniversary of the Sydney Olympics today. That is very true. There's a couple of things going on with that at the moment. It is a very epic day, isn't it? It is a bit of an epic day today. Got the t-shirt. Hello, welcome to the stream. I'm doing it's like a lot of things at the moment with a lot of people. I am doing a little mixed, but at the same time, you know what? I am here looking forward to spending some great quality time with all of you, my wonderful aviation companions, and all of my crew here. So thank you very much for joining once again. I am running a little bit behind at the moment. So I am totally disorganized. Work has been absolutely crazy at the moment, and will continue to be for the foreseeable future. So I'm a little bit behind on where I am with stuff, so I'm just quickly going to do some admin. So sorry guys, I will be with you very shortly. But I just need to clear up a little bit of admin. Okay. And then we will be getting started with our challenge very shortly. We should probably maybe even have a poll about where we should have a challenge. Okay. So I can close that one now. That's good. Okay. Alrighty, so we are, as I said, this is Challenge Tuesdays. have to get the shirt. Okay, well, if so, um, Exigamy, if you thank you very much. Straight out at less. Thank you. These are some polo shirts. If any legitimate question, if anybody is interested in acquiring, so I have some merch which I'm tweaking the ideas of at the moment, but the polo shirts is something that I do have. I can get. Let me rephrase. I do have them. I just need to move them around the country at the moment. So if anybody's interested in purchasing one, please let me know in the Discord, and we'll see what we can do for you guys. Thomas, hello, welcome to XV. That's great. You were the first. There you go. Master Breaker, Tech Mate, great to see you. All right, everyone. Aladdin, thank you very much for the resubscribe. Thank you so much. It is great to still have your support. It genuinely means so much to me that you guys believe in what I'm up to. So, thank you so much for that. Right, let's have a look. So we do have. I'm still noticing that our live challenge still hasn't changed yet. Hopefully, we'll see that starting to change on a more regular basis shortly. Got the T-shirt. Thank you so much for resubscribing, for continuing your gift sub. Thank you so much. You're a legend. Thank you so much, guys. It seriously means so much. Thank you so much. Paul Osmond, you can never have enough polo shirts. You can never have enough polo shirts. That is absolutely the case. You can have enough of it. Thank you so much, guys. For it, as I said, it never ceases to amaze me how amazing our flight sim community can be. As I said before, I'm just a guy that's wanting to share the love and passion, my love and passion for virtual aviation, and I hope that maybe along the way I get to inspire someone to maybe take their first steps into a larger world, whether it be virtual or real. So yeah, thank you for believing me in my journey, and thanks for coming on board. So before I get too sappy, let's have a look. So I'm thinking I want to do something with a yoke tonight because I have my honeycomb yoke set up. I saw the comment there, Wookie, about that. It's like, yeah, well, there's salt and there's no black. Yeah, okay. So I can black coffee only for an espresso. It has to be an espresso shot. I can do black coffee. Otherwise, I would like to have a little bit of creamer in there, please. Well, as in milk, not that American horrible creamer powder. Ugh. Ugh. Anyway, so what have we got here? So we haven't done chili yet, have we? But we did Nice, that's right, because we were tossing up between that and Nice last week, and we did Nice last week, which was disturbingly quick. So we should probably look for it somewhere else. But as I said, we will let you guys decide which one we take on tonight. Scooty Pie, hello, welcome to the stream. Great to have you back. I hope you are doing well. Alrighty, so we will do yoke aircraft again, as we've done before. I should probably Chile. So I can already see votes for Chile coming through in that one. But let's see. Aladdin, we will probably most likely be doing one later on. We'll see how long it takes one. I'm sure we will. We may not, but we may do it with a little difference because, as I said before, so as I said at the start of the stream, this is Battle of Britain Day today, so we may end up doing a community flight in one of the other sims. So not sure yet what we're going to do, but we'll see. Okay, so what a landing challenge to attempt. So I can already see that there's already a vote for Chile. Okay. And we have. I'm still fascinated about this one in Ecuador because I know that one's hot and high. which is always a challenge with turboprop engines running in hot and high conditions. Or we can do Toronto. So, which I put that one there. So CYT Zulu and Canada. Okay. So I'm gonna pop that poll, pop that poll in the chat there. So guys, that should be appearing in your chat very, very shortly. So feel free to vote on which airport challenge, which landing challenge you would like to see done tonight. And then in the meantime, we'll be able to chat about all the amazing things going on here. So as I said, we may do one, but we may not be in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We may do it in a legacy sim. To be honest, I'm not sure what aircraft from the Battle of Britain I actually have installed at the moment. Actually, to be honest, so that could be interesting. There's a crowd. This is Rio. We might do another one. Are you missing one challenge that you've not done? I wish you took the ball. Well, we'll get there, Australia. We'll get there. Your eyes have failed me. That's okay. I mean, even for the... See, we'll probably, make the exception of the tubies, for landing challenges. We may do that, but we'll see. At the moment, I've got, as I said, I like these approaches. Rio is a very beautiful approach. I don't know how challenging it would be, but we shall see. Philosopher, this is the only flight sim that you have. That's okay. Well, it's an excellent choice of flight simulator to have. That is for sure. That is for sure. Yeah, exactly. I know I have Spitfires and Hurricanes available in my collection. It's just whether or not I have them installed, because I'm only running prepared V4 at the moment. I have FSX, but I only have it to test products. Sorry, to test textures. So I don't think I actually have my controls set up. So if we did that, y'all would have to sit through me setting my controls up for a few minutes. But yeah, we'll see what we got, because I know I have the Spitfire and the Hurricane for FSX. Just I don't think I have it for prepared at the moment. That's all. Okay, so our challenge has finished, and it looks like that our approach into Toronto in Canada is the winner tonight. Yeah, I don't think it was Wookiee. They were supplied to the British under Lend-Lease, but I'm pretty sure it was after the Battle of Britain. They did serve as home defence. Before, but most of them were used in the North African theatre rather than back in the home counties. Trying to go to burn your computer, make it sweat. Oh, okay, well, it sounds like a bit of a challenge there, Drift. All right. So Canada, it is now. Before we do that, because I just remembered, I need to check my see what I've got here. So we are flying a turboprop then, so I need to set my, which means I need to change my controls to match my turboprop, because at the moment they are saying, hey, I remembered the right direction. I clicked the right direction this time. Woohoo! Anyway, moving on. So let me just check this. Okay, so let's have a look. Throw 1, 2, prop axis probably full. Reverse thrust on that. Yeah, that's fine. Toggle gear. Yep, we are good. Okay. Alright, so I like to our challenges, famous, and we are going to Toronto. Okay. I was gonna say Chile was a close second. Okay, so let's read this on. So this is Billy Bishop Airport, which I haven't been to actually, so it'll be very interesting. Kiwi, thank you so much for the subscription there. Australia, thank you very much for gifting the sub there. That's amazing. Thank you very much, sir. I see, this is the thing. I love how generous we all are as a community, sharing the love like this. This is amazing. Thank you so much, Australia, for gifting the sub there. That's awesome. Well, there's no true land to make an approach. Okay, so this is okay. So Our number to beat is almost 2 mil. Right, okay. Don't think we're going to get 2 mil, but we're going to get above at least a mil. The Baron decides, I found a good thing. Okay, so... I think the next patch is scheduled for around the end of the month, I believe it was. So, there you go. I found the Baron to be fairly stable. Godburner, I found it to be relatively stable at least. Anyway, okay, so we're coming in on 2-6. So, only active there. So it's a fairly long sweeping approach, but why are we coming in with a tailwind? Or is that going to be... Okay, 6 knot crosswind from 187, coming on 2-6, so wind out of the south. Okay, yep, that makes kind of sense. Mind you, it's 6 knots, so it's kind of idle. You wouldn't be really worrying too much about that. I wouldn't be worrying too much about wind probably until it was about 10 knots anyway. Ah, that's awesome. Sub-hype! I feel like if this one goes like Nice, we may have to do a second challenge tonight. But we'll see. Because I'm also going to become... I can see that I'm going to end up becoming a perfectionist with some of these challenges. I can genuinely see that as well. Okay. Those hills, Sedona being kind of... Yeah, okay. There is a terrain LOD setting. There is a terrain LOD setting that you can look at. Alright. Okay, let's have a look. Stable on the approach. Watch that trim. Okay, pulling down near to flight idle. Gear traveling. Landing lights on. That's a really... Oh, coming straight in. Okay. That's going to make it challenging because of the... Okay, so I've turned too late on this approach. So I'm going to have to do a hard correction once I get past the towers here. Okay, watching the torque. Okay. Oh yeah, I've come way too far over. Definitely, that was a terrible, because, oh yeah, I left that turn far too late. Okay, good rate of sense. Good for the center line. Oh, terrible for the center line, but yeah, okay. Actually, that wasn't as bad as it's... Really? I really wasn't that... I was, okay. The numbers seem a bit odd. Okay. Alright. So, that was completely just me being mesmerised by the scenery a little bit too much. Nice, great work there, Drift, and Aladdin, great work there. I need to embody my inner maverick for a second. My eyes are getting a bit strained today. All right, so my approach probably best coming if I line up early based on. Okay. Alright, gear traveling. The challenge for this one actually is more to do with the fact that you've got the sun coming in through the angle of the sun actually is what's going to be the biggest challenge of this one. Okay, curving approach. Slow that descent right. Before one of these streams, I need to try moving my warthog, my Hotez warthog to my other side and see if that helps. Okay. I'm way too high on that approach. Too far to the right, too far along. What I should probably do is I should probably move. Well, actually, probably what I should do is I probably should actually move my trim over to my right thumb. If I'm going to stick with the throttles on the left, I should probably go for that. How many million? I'm just aiming for the 1 million there. Excuse me, I'll have to check probably after we do the landing challenge tonight. I'll have to check for you. We'll go through my settings menu if everybody wants to do that. All right. All right. I'm channeling the inner Kitsune at the moment. I'm channeling that at the moment. All right, so approach path is supposed to come. So suggest approach path flies over that landing at 60%. Okay, all right. Yeah, we always aim for at least the mill. Oh, okay, this is a live one. That's kind of cool. Okay. traveling. Three green. Okay. Watch that descent rate. Still coming in a little high for my liking, but speed is good. Push from the left, so we have to counter that. So we have to crab it. Not quite crab it, but definitely have to have the nose a little to the left to counter that push we're getting. Alright, watch the power. Because we have to remember that flare. Drifting to the right again. Oh. No. Doing so well until I just a little bit too much on the flare. A little bit too heavy-handed on the flare. Still managed to crack the million though. We're getting there. So the weekly challenge is, from my understanding, is supposed to change every Monday. It's supposed to change. I'm pretty sure it was every Monday that I saw in the release notes, but they haven't changed it since launch day. And it is supposed to change every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks it's supposed to change. So surprised that it hasn't changed yet, but at the same time, I kind of understand why it hasn't, because, you know, the team's been rather busy dealing with, you know, a whole launch and all the post-launch fixes and bugs and stuff. So I'm kind of not too upset about it. I think if we're this time next month and we still haven't seen a change, we might start asking some questions of the dev team, I think. But I think they've got there. Do the approach upside down. Why am I not surprised that you did that upside down there? All right, I want to give it another go, because I want to see if I can, because I know I can do better with that. All right, I'm going to give it one more crack, at least one more crack, because I know I can do better than that. Because I didn't think that was going to crack the million. I thought that was rubbish, that approach. So it's saying 80. So it's saying riding stall speed while still on approach. That's interesting. Let's try that. Alright, so let's drop the gear early. And we'll try their suggested one, which is riding the almost on stall speed. So it's saying about 110 knots very shortly. So do 1 notch flaps. So we've got 500 feet to run to airport altitude. Really interesting how that turbulence plays as you cross that coast, sort of, yeah, that land to water crossing. Really do notice that. Okay, don't climb. Okay, power. And again, we've got to watch we don't get pushed off too far off to the right. Push the nose over to the little to the left. Back to flight idle. Watching the trim. Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be out. I personally am not going to be doing better than whatever this is. 1.4. Yeah, I'll take that. 600 and something in the world, but I will take that one. I will take that one. I'm pretty happy with that one. Probably could have done with a little less power, but yeah, that was good. Only pipped by Mr. Physics there. That was pretty awesome. This normal dangerous. Yeah, we did try to fly up through the Eiffel Tower upside down. It did not work so well. It did not go so well, but that's okay. Yeah, Ozfly just needs to try it in a C-46. You kind of crashed the footage. Oh no! So yeah, it's like, woo! That's awesome. Yeah, I was pretty. Yeah, no, totally not Geronimo. Yeah, that. I'm gonna call that one done. I'm pretty sure I'd make an absolute pig's breakfast of it if I tried again. So I'm happy with that one. So I'm good with that one. So what does that mean? Okay, so I'm thinking that we do, because it was a very close poll. So I'm thinking, because there was only one vote in it, so I'm thinking we will do the Chile. We'll do the Chile landing challenge as well tonight. Sure, no, Australia, you're more than welcome to. Alright, let's have a look. What has the Chilean one got in store for us? Oh, sounds like there's a bit of competition going for top space on this one. Now, this looks like a very turbulent approach, this one. So, a small public use airfield in the Los Lagos region of Chile. So also makes reference to small aircraft, and its mountainous locale can turn the approach into a challenge for the unprepared pilot. Okay, so we're landing on 3-2, which is that runway. Doesn't show me what the approach path looks like. So we're at 1038. Okay, so we're on a valley floor. We're not on a plateau. I'm guessing the turbulence that's going to come down through that mountain is going to be very interesting. Okay. All right, we got some. Seriously, I do just love all the names that you see in Xbox Live. I do love them. Excellent. Doing the Balkan Strip. Excellent. Well, we'll be we'll be doing uh, so crew, probably what we're doing, there's been a few suggestions of some flights to do, and we may end up actually doing the I really like the idea of doing the bush trips together. So a couple of ways that we might do those. I'm thinking that because I do want to, I've been really hanging out to do the bush trips here in the feature as part of the sim. So I'm thinking we will do those. We'll probably do those starting either this Saturday or the following Saturday. We'll start doing those as our Saturday flights. But I haven't decided whether we're going to do the ones in sim or whether we're going to use the flight plans and do our own. I haven't decided that yet, but we'll see. Anyway, in the meantime, that gets this one good here. Bush trip with Discord. That's what I'm thinking, Aladdin. That is what I'm thinking. But we will see. So, alright guys, let's jump in. Oh, well that's straight at it. You are surrounded by friends here in our crew that support your your passion for flight simulation. Oh crap! I need to change my I need to change my controls because I'm no longer flying a turboprop. This could get super awkward really, really quickly. Because I think I've got to load the aircraft in first, which I have a horrible feeling is going to... This could go horribly wrong very, very shortly. I can do it before I hit flight. Okay, that's good. Whew. Oh, this could have gone horribly wrong otherwise. Okay. And we're going that way. Nope. That way for GA. Okay. So we're set up on GA. I need to unlock this one. Okay. Let's have a look. So we're doing throttle, prop set to full, mixture set to full rich. Flaps. I don't think we need an APU starter in that, do we? That's clear. Validate. That's good. Okay. Let's save that one. Okay. Alright, apply and save. And back. And back. And look at that beautiful mountain approach. Alright. Okay, where's the range? Okay, so our airfield's over here. So I saw that somebody somewhere is looking at bringing a X-Wing, a Lego X-Wing into the sim. Personally, I want to see an F302 in the sim. I never got one for the ESP sims, so I really would love to see one here. Oh, ha ha ha! That's why this one's the challenging approach, because just when you get complacent, you'll catch the ridge lift coming off these mountains on the approach. Right, that's why. Okay. Leave that one notch in. Oh, you're giving me a 5-knot tailwind? Seriously? Okay, 2-notch flaps. Five-knot tailwind. Why would I land with a 5-knot tailwind through mountains when I can do when I have a perfectly good, perfectly valid runway available for me on 1.4? Why would I do that? Okay. Throttle idle. Flaps full. Landing assured. 40 knot VREF. Way too high. Oh, yeah, okay, so it's that air currents that are populating through the valley floor here. That's what's going to get you. Okay. So now it's going to be hold it off. Hold it off. Hold it off. Ah, no, too long. Way too long. Nice and straight. Little hard on the landing. Way too long. It's too high for too long. Too high for too long. Beautiful part of the world, though. Wait, what? How did I score that high? Admittedly, I'm also a long way from the top, but okay. Alright, I wasn't expecting that. That was terrible, though. That was absolutely terrible. That is. I cannot let that stand as my attempt for this one. I cannot let that stand. Nose in the hello, by the way. Braid take this here through too. Yes. Nose in the flare. Yep. Osmond, I've got a couple of community mods ready to go. I haven't pulled the trigger on installing them yet. I've got the 152. I've got the 152 realism mod in there. I've got that ready to go. I've also got a couple of community airports. Because the other thing that I was thinking of doing on Saturday instead of doing the bush flights was actually going to be doing a tour of Victoria. The state of Victoria, because there's been a very prolific a newcomer to flight simulation and a very prolific creator. And his name absolutely escapes me right now. Has been doing some amazing work recreating airports in the state of Victoria in Australia. And I had a look at his tab, and I was really, really impressed by his tab. Hello, are you come to say hello on the stream? Hello, hello. First officer on the deck. Good evening, sir. Yeah, so he did TIAB, which looked really, really good, and now he's come out and updated like pretty much all of the a lot of the regional airstrips in Victoria. So yeah, I want to go exploring of those. So if we don't do bush strips, we'll do regional strips in Victoria. On Saturday. All right, so let's. As I said, I'm totally restarting that because that was terrible. So we're definitely doing that one again. Which one is a Russian judge? Thank you very much, Evidence, please. Good evening. Welcome to the stream, dear friend. How are you tonight? We will call him Bob. First officer Fluff is on the desk. Absolutely right. Sydney and Belvin looked better with mods. Excellent. Excellent. Good to hear. Did they use to, I don't remember the Stargates in FSX back in the day. We thought I have not heard a reference to that show for a number of years, but thank you for giving me some pleasant memories there. Alright, let's... I need to switch that one. Wrong stream. There we go. Wrong screen. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, let's have a look. So we are one notch in flaps at the moment. We are good. Engine mixture is still rich. No prop pitch control on this particular aircraft. Okay, so we're gonna nice and easy on the speed tonight, because we're gonna have to watch for the bumps coming through the air as we go off the ridge lift through here, and then that transition that will go from the water to land, we'll get that updraft through there and the subsequent downdraft. I can definitely see why they pick some of these amazing approaches, because they are such beautiful parts of the world that we're getting to visit, particularly with these beautiful lighting and weather effects as well. Basically, I'm leaving the power set, and I'm just trying to control the SB with trim. Pretty sure I'm too high at the moment. To pull that throttle back a little bit further. Second notch flaps out. 1700 RPM. Bring the power back in. Oh, yeah, I'm too high again. Let's trade power off. Trade some some air speed, altitude for speed. Power right back. Okay. Drifting a little. Watch for the lift, the deadlift. There it is. Okay. Look for the numbers.
500.
Full flap. Get the bounce. Okay. The old dead cat bounce. Okay. Okay, bring it down. Watch the stall speed. I've got to make sure that I maintain control of the aircraft. And just at that moment, my monitors have decided that they want to try and shut down. So I'm obscuring the... Come on, come on, come on. Hold off, 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 hold off. Ah, too heavy. I bet that was too heavy. So I use TV monitors as my... yeah, that was worse than last time. That was... How does that... I should have quit while I was ahead. Got to do that again now. Because that was... just as I was getting that beautiful lineup, I run TVs as my monitors. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, the brand of TV that I have has a baked-in sleep function where if it hasn't received a key press input for several hours, it just simply shuts down, and it's like, no, and it comes with this big warning on there, which is very useful, I'm sure, if you're, watching TV, but it's really frustrating when you're on short final and I can't see the runway anymore. Anyway, some of this stargates to the pyramids, excellent, that's going to be awesome. Oh, photographed the whole city. Nice. Alright. Now, I'm wondering if we actually use a little bit to the right. I'll actually fly in following the body of water. So trying to make sure we catch as much of the clear air that we can. Controlling the airspeed by the trim. Trimmed it too much, that one. Okay, a little bit more nose down. A little bit more nose down. Touch more nose down. 300 feet per minute. Okay, so we're a little bit more stable in approach this time. Okay, put an extra knots of flaps in. Okay, trimmed it out. 500 feet. held back, 1500 RPM. Maybe a little less. Actually, I'm going to go power idle. Idle power.
500.
Okay. So it looks like they've got the landing salts on the 500-foot markers. Little bit of power in now. A little bit more power in. Watch the drift. Power back. Power back. Landing long. Too long. Maybe? So my eye was too wide, interestingly enough. I still can't believe I got a good price on that first one. Turn the G1000 off and just see with Micro and Eyeball. Use the force. I kind of like that. Actually. Maybe we'll do that one. 5-foot accuracy. That's a challenge I'll accept. 5-foot accuracy on either of these. Yeah, right. Okay. I'm curious, actually, if I can turn... I wonder if I can turn the avionics bus off. Let's see... Alright, so I got 4 winds over the nose. 4 knots over the nose. See, that's saying 4 knots over the nose, but the G1000 is saying I got 4 knots tail on the tail. It's lying to me. One of them is lying to me. Alright. Okay, can I turn this off? Alright, bus 2 off. I don't know, can we fly on bus 1 without bus 1? No, because the emergency battery kicks in and it keeps the PFD running. So you can't actually turn it off. That's interesting. Which actually makes sense because it doesn't have an SF. So because this aircraft doesn't have. Oh, yeah, it kind of does actually. Kind of does have the SFDs. Because you've still got the 3 down here of the manuals, so you can still run everything off those. I think the only way to kill them would be to turn the master battery off, and you kind of don't really want to do that because the master battery kind of runs some other systems that I do actually want to hang on to. I did think that we were on the right track of making sure I was like following the lake here as much as we could during our pass. Okay, next notch flaps are in. Trim down. Alright, bring back the power. All I can hear is like Ras saying unstable, unstable. Just imagining it. Okay. Power idle. Final notch of flaps kicked in. Little on the heavy side. Pretty happy with everything else though. Well, I improved it. So I was 30 feet off and 8 feet off. Too hard on the landing. Right, okay, that's too halfway. One as well. So there is no try to go family will. Saba does mess with your head. That's very true. So you can do it else. Game of Ash, hello, welcome to the stream. Great to see you. 8 feet. It's like that was a little bit of rudder on the end there. Oh, I'm annoyed at myself now because that was. I'm annoyed at that. Because I fell out of that with that. Ugh. Yeah, one more time. Well, yeah, we're doing one more. We're doing one more. Because I'm looking at that and going, nope, nope, nope. That shall not stand. That shall not stand. Game Bash, by the way, hello, Game Bash. Sorry, and welcome. I hope you are doing well. All right, 4 knots. So it is fluctuating. 4 knots at 293. So I'm getting more and more convinced that the wind that the Garmin's in the system show is incorrect. So just as we were preloading there, for example, it was saying 4 5 knots out of 293, and right now the Garmin's showing that it's 4 knots, but out of the opposite of that, out of 1 2. Out of 120. So I thinking there's coding wrong with the Garmin's. Okay, whoop. Whoop, little too much. Little too much. I'll trim there. Okay. Okay. We're feeling good about this. Okay. Little on the high for the approach, but that's okay. Got time to correct. Trading altitude for speed. Running idle. Nose up, trim it out. That sinking feeling after we came back over the land from the water. Okay, a little bit too far to the right today. Pushing that trim.
500.
Okay. Final natural flaps going in. idle. A little bit of power gonna fall, gonna come short if I'm not careful. Okay, full idle. A little high. Now level it out. Bring on the stall. A little bit long, run it 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 long. Too wide. Way too wide. Yep. Nah. That was nah. Um Barbados, yeah, Barbados. That's an interesting one. Yeah, I have to see that one. I could feel bad the first time you were there. Oh, nice. Hong Kong was I flew into Kai Tak to Kai Tak on the old airport in Hong Kong when we did the checkerboard approach. So you're flying straight at a mountain, and then the aircraft banks hard turn. And I looked out the window, and I swore I could have if I could have reached the window, I could have just grabbed somebody's washing and taken it home with me as a souvenir. It was a fascinating approach. I think it was like 15-year-old me absolutely loved it. It was awesome. It has. Yeah, I completely sympathise. I'm glad you're going. I completely sympathise with being one of those days, Vash. I absolutely consider it. I too have had some challenges, but a great opportunity, having a great time sharing my love for simulation with you, with the crew here tonight. Rounding out a little too early. Yeah, possibly. Very, very probably there. Yeah, I've got to. Yeah, so you're thinking a little higher on the speed for the round out. Yeah, we'll see. Probably have a bit more power onto the down instead of doing the saw. Have a bit lower of that. I'm going to try that. So good tips there. Thank you very much, Crosby. So yes, we're going back. We're going back for more. Alrighty. That would have been an epic. That would have been epic if I'd managed to get that to happen. That would have been such a cool story to have. Okay. Just the altitude, trim down a little bit. Okay. Okay, power back, nose down, notch flaps in, pull off the power, watch for the bounce. So we'll do as Crosby suggested, we'll maybe do a little bit slightly higher on the speed on the approach there. little bit too far. It's drifting back. I'm thinking a little too high for this approach. Very unstable. Alright, throttle idle. Better landing rate, but way too long. Too high on that approach. Way too high on that approach. But we improved our score, because although we were further down the runway, we massively reduced our rate of descent. So we pushed us ahead of where we were. So 1.5 mil. I think that's pretty good. Yeah. That's. Thank you very much, Crosby. Thank you very much for the tip there. As I said, it was a good point with that one. Thank you very much for reminding me of that necessity, because you actually have to fly it in, not necessarily stall it in. So there we go. That was good. That was fun. Stray Edit, that's okay. Your money is safe, because I think that is enough of this one for tonight. Where did we end up with everybody here? Mr. Physic, you're gonna have to get going again, Mr. Physic. My good friend Wingman Tingley is the only one in front of me. Part of me if it wasn't for the fact that I just said that we're not going to do this one again, part of me wants to now go back and do that again, but not tonight. I will not do that on stream tonight. All right, that's why. Ava was pretty good, wasn't it? I was pretty chuffed with that. All right, let's go with that one. There we go. That's done. All right, that's that one done for tonight. Okay, that was fun. That was a lot of fun for our Challenge Tuesday. It's funny, actually. So, for those who might remember, as I said, I don't know how many of you in chat remember, but Microsoft Flight, which you will often hear me reminisce about here during various episodes, they also had they had weekly challenges put out by their community team. Excuse me, but they put theirs out on Wednesday. So a couple of people have commented back to me saying that I should make this, rather than Challenge Tuesday, it should be Wednesday challenges. Unfortunately, of course, I don't stream on Wednesdays. But you never know. We never know. Maybe we'll change streams one day. All right. Now, we have to decide. Actually, excuse me. I'm going to quickly check something. Because I need to see. So I'm going to have to do something, do some admin. You guys won't see what I'm looking at for a moment, but I need to have a look at something to see what do I have installed in my other Sims. Okay, no, don't have that. Okay, what else we got? Legacy content. Nope. Nope, not what I'm after. Okay. I'm just going through my collection just to see if there is something for because it is, as I said before, it is Battle of Britain Day today. I was going to see if there's something that I can fly. Actually, you know what? If there's nothing that I actually have installed, what I can do is I can quickly grab something. RJR. Here we go. Where did I put his stuff? That's what I want. Okay, let's have a look. What have I got installed? Okay. So what we are going to do, guys, is that we are going to do, I think, we are going to do a community flight, but we're going to do one not in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are going to do something different. I just need to quickly do a couple of things here, because this is As I said, I'm not very organized tonight. Sorry, guys. Though you probably, for those who have been joining my crew for a while, you're probably going to recognize the fact that I'm not very organized. Let's see. Let me grab this. Yeah, prop downloads. Okay, so this is not strictly. This one is not strictly a Battle of Britain aircraft, but it will do the job. Alright. I thought he had a proper. Oh no, maybe I've not got the wrong site. 1 second. Okay. All of the things. It says that all of the not busy. So you have to talk about yourself for a minute. So what I'm trying to find is I'm trying to get a why the hell does Microsoft do that? That's really none. So I'm just getting something together that I can fly in memory of Battle of Britain Day. And so I want to give something a try. Spitfire Mark 25. Okay, so here we go. So this is not strictly a Second World War aircraft. But this is a Submarine Spitfire. So we're going to fly that in. We're going to do that in Prepared tonight. So we're going to switch sims tonight. Out of here, we're going to go into Prepared. So for anybody who does have Prepared and would like to join in a community flight in Join FS, I'm happy to welcome you guys into that. I'll put some details in that. So we're going to jump out of this one. So it's going to be very weird. It's going to be interesting. You guys, so it's normally we only do Prepared on our Thursday flights with Air Hauler, but we're going to do it today because it is a special occasion today. We are going to do it on tonight. Okay, let me put this in here. There we go. All right. So let me just do this one here. So there we go. All right. So for anyone, as I said, so if anybody has Prepared or FSX and is wanting to do a quick flight in the United Kingdom, and if you're aware of Join FS, you're welcome to join me in Join FS. I'm just going to fire it up shortly now. Let's go have a look. Sorry, just catching up on the chat here from the guys who were doing that one. Yeah, we did get a free airport from Aerosoft. We actually flew in there on Saturday, I think it was. Saturday we flew in there, and we landed there. I did find that I don't know whether it crashed my sim or whether my avionics crashed my sim with TBM 850, but I did have some issues when I first downloaded it, but once we restarted the sim, it was great. We all landed there together. Drift was doing his shenanigans on the apron once we landed, but it was a lot of fun. Okay, let me have a look here. Okay, we're going to go Rex Skyforce, Active Sky. I'm hoping for anybody who's viewing us from the UK, please tell me that it's good weather in the UK right now. I'm hoping it is. Alright, let's launch Prepared. And where is my little Join FS? There it is, Join FS, cool. Yeah, so yeah, it did work, but yeah, it did work for us eventually. And it's a really good, it's a beautiful airport, especially considering it's free. Oh, okay, interesting that you guys, Evidence Please and Laurie, you've had a few issues with downloading stuff from the store. That is rather interesting. I haven't heard that myself, but yeah. But it's interesting that you said that the marketplace is getting a major rework, which is good to hear. I think it does as well, but there you go. What's the structure if I got separate? Probably because it's going to clear all the time or not logged. I haven't looked, to be honest, Rayada. I have not looked. I did say that I was going to check that out, and I forgot. I do apologise. It means good freeware will be available. Exactly, that is a good thing to have as well. I had to break up a fight between the oldest kids. Oh no, diplomacy in the Vash household tonight. Well, there you go. Some of them just downright wrong. Yeah, some of those things have been a bit weird as well. So I was looking. We're going to be flying in the. Let me bring it up here. So Robert James Richardson's. It's funny enough. Actually, he's actually taken it down. Oh, I'm sorry. So he had a Spitfire mark. He's just rebooted his website, and I think he's still rebuilding his website. So it's missing. Oh no! So I just pulled it out of my collection because I had it already installed. There it is. There we go. So if anybody does want to join me in this flight, we're going to be flying this one because it's a freeware aircraft. So this is a Submarine Spitfire Mark 24, which was the last model of Spitfire ever made and to ever see service. So served with the Royal Air Force and the Royal Air Force Auxiliary, and serving in defending the home counties and also in various overseas bases, including Hong Kong. So although strictly speaking, it did not fly in the Battle of Britain, its precursor did and was the main aircraft of the Battle of Britain. So if anybody's wanting to join this flight in Prepared or FSX tonight, I'll pop this link in the chat here. And you guys are welcome to grab that one. So grab yourself the Submarine Spitfire Mark 24. So this will work in FSX, will also work in Prepared V4. I'm not sure about V5. And yeah, I'm just loading the sim in now. And what I'll do is I'll set up some join FS as well. How are the graphics in this sim? That's a really good question. But let me get to that question in a moment. So I'm just going to go back through the chat here. You don't have prepared. That's okay, Physics. So you can join us just by video then while we fly in here. I hope that the developer of Join FS actually perhaps maybe does some joint multiplayer stuff as well, perhaps in the future. Well, I don't know, we might see that. As I said, but it's just we don't have any of this aircraft. And I feel it's very important that we do take this moment to celebrate and commemorate, or not celebrate. I feel that in events like this, celebration is the wrong word to use. We need to commemorate, not celebrate. I think that we always need to be mindful of the choice of words that we have. And it's something that I feel particularly very strongly about, is that we need to always remember that we need to not glorify combat and not glorify conflict. We need to memorialize it, we need to commemorate it, but we cannot glorify it. And that's something that needs to be we all need to be mindful of, whenever we're gaming as well. It is actually something that we need to be mindful of when we're gaming, and as well as in our everyday lives. And as much as it sounds trite and stuff like that, for those who do choose to, for those who choose and those who also don't choose to protect our communities, whether they serve directly themselves, and this also applies to first responders as well as military personnel. But also remember that it takes more than just those individuals as well. There are the families, the spouses, the children. They don't get the choice to serve, and yet they do as well. So always be mindful, always be grateful, and always acknowledge those people and the contributions they make to our communities. Anyway, as I've gone on my tangent just then as well, this is your first time seeing Everyday Flight Sims. That's okay, Paul Osman. If Microsoft Flight Simulator is the first thing that you've got, believe me, trust me, for now, that's all you need. The other sims are important for their own reasons, but probably more for those of us who've been simming for a very, 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 very long time. I believe there's evidence, please. I think there's some more freeware coming onto the marketplace, and there's a couple of other devs that are bringing freeware to the marketplace as well, which is good to hear and see. Try with it because it's too hot. Well, it'd be fine for Australians then as well. Apart from that, it's lovely, excellent. It's nice to have good weather in the UK. It makes a nice change. When I was living there, it was grey and miserable pretty much the entire time. I had to go to Spain if I wanted good weather or Australian type weather. 24 Celsius. That's nothing. That's fine. Canadian normal operating temperature. Laureate, I love that. I want to steal that if I may, because Canadian National Citizen Operations Manual, normal operating temperatures -50 to +25. That is fantastic. That is awesome. It was 26 here in Newcastle, and it was hot. And it was like, yeah, I feel I'm getting more in touch with my UK roots though. I can deal with colder climates again sometimes, but also I complain when it drops below, like when it drops into single digits. So I'm more Australian than I like to admit sometimes. How are the graphics in this sim? That's a really good question, Paul, because I'll be honest, most of the time they're kind of rubbish. I'll be honest. However, what you'll be seeing has a lot of add-on graphics improvements put in. So probably won't be so bad. Hopefully won't be so bad as well. Good old prepared, maybe that is fly from Pent Farm. So I was actually we're gonna do a bit of flight planning in a moment, I think, and find out where to go, because I know we definitely want to either start or end at Biggin Hill. That is definitely one that we're gonna do. Okay, so let me go here. Spitfire. It should be the only one that I have. There we go. Okay. So this was the very last Spitfire, and was actually the Royal Air Force Auxiliary serving in the Hong Kong detachment, if I remember correctly. Yeah, RAF Kai Tak Hong Kong. Yep, the personal mount of the Wing Commander. That's right. That is absolutely correct. That was. Because I remember some time when I was there, when I actually spent when I was in Hong Kong. We're going to go with the camouflage one though. I spent some time because the RAF station moved to Sekong, which is a smaller strip further inland. I spent some time with 28 Squadron there, and I met the commanding officer, and got to, because they were flying Wessex helicopters back then, and it was just before the handover, so it was a fascinating period of time. But anyway, okay, so what we should do, let's have a look here. This is a question. Do we call this good old prepared? Well, kind of it is. Cliffs of I have IL-2 Cliffs of Dover. Funny enough, I literally have played it a half dozen times, and have lost all the keybinds. I need to go back and play it again. I really do. Cheer on top of the last week was all bad. Oh no. Oh. Okay, I'm very glad that it will get better. Okay, that's good. That's the most important thing. Do I play War Thunder? I'll be honest, sorry, I loved War Thunder. I was in the alpha for it and the early beta, back when it was aeroplanes only. Absolutely loved it. But I'm so far out of it. I think I'm still running tier 2 aircraft in the Royal Air Force, and that's like all I've got. I don't even want to try the grind that it would take me to get up. I haven't, because I would love to, but if I was to do it, I'd have to devote all my simming time to just War Thunder. And one of the things that frustrate me about MMOs is the grind. So WoW, let me just quickly change something here, because I just realized I need to do this. Prepared. There we go. Okay. Remembering a few. Okay, so I just got to quickly change the stream title, guys. 1 second there. Remember the 5th of November. How do you spell remember? Hang on. Remember. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right. So, okay. So, let me just cover. Yeah. So War Thunder, I absolutely love. But it's just the thing about MMOs is that the grind that it would take to get there. And that and that discourages me. And the more I get discouraged by it, the longer I get between it, the less I want to go back to it. So, we'll see. But you never say never. Never say never is something that I have learnt in my lifetime. Never say never. Ye old FSX. 47, 47, yeah, like out west, we said 45 degrees was normal. That was regular when we were out there going through there. North Kempton Farm, yeah, Madson's. Madson's Special Concord Diversion Runway, yeah, that's very true. That could be fine. The Cutter Corvette grind. So Braytech, yeah, I started down that path, and I think I got about 20 hours into it and went, F that, I'm done. And I love, again, Elite Dangerous is another one of those things that I absolutely love it dearly. I love it to bits, but I'm so just like, no, just nope. Just a whole lot of nope. Okay. All right, fam. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at Biggin Hill. Okay, so as I said, I definitely want to go. So Biggin Hill either has to be a start or a finish point. Now we have to do the White Cliffs of Dover. So that's a must, which means we have to go past. We'd have to go past Manston at some point. So I saw a couple of suggestions here. Let me have a look. Pent Farm. North Weald might be a good one. Because North Weald was a very active base during the Second World War. Okay, so you know what? So let's do let's do North Weald as our starting. Do that as our starting flight plan. Flight plan departure, and then we'll go via. We'll go via Manston. Manston flight plan. Okay, then we'll go to the Dover VOR. We'll go past Lid. And then we'll go over Gatwick. And then finish at Biggin Hill. Let's do that. Gatwick flight plan, and then we will finish at Biggin Hill destination. Okay. And I need to move one of these down. Okay, Gatwick. There we go. Okay. So we'll do that as our flight plan. Okay. So let's have a look here. Not good for overclocking. That's why you have liquid. That's why you have liquid cooling there, Osman. That's why you have liquid cooling. Oh, it was lost. Nice. Oh no. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Both Horizon 1 is under the cover only. Cybinder station races. Alrighty, crew. So what we're going to do, as I said, for those who are wanting to do this one, what we'll do is I will export this as a flight plan. Flight plan, Okay, so let's do... That's always terrifying. Okay, so let's go with... Okay. Britain. Okay. Alright, what I'll actually do, guys, is if anybody is interested in joining, I will quickly throw this up on my website. So if anybody is wanting to grab the flight plan that we've just assembled there, you guys are welcome to do so. Let me just go to add new, okay, file, documents. One of these things is not like the other. Thanks very much for sticking with this guys. As I said, very, very short notice, this one. But I thought if anybody is interested, you guys are more than welcome to do that. There we go. Put that one in. File type. What? Ah, really? Really? Okay. Well, then we add this to a zip file. Cool. All right. Library. Okay, so for anyone who's wanting to grab the flight plan of what we're about to fly in, so as I said, you're welcome to. We'll do this in Join FS. So, as I said, for anybody who doesn't know what Join FS is, then probably just cruise, just chill and enjoy us as we fly by. But anyone who does have FSX all prepared and wants to muck around with Spitfires and fly this flight tonight, I've just popped the link to the flight plan in chat there. It's just a PLM file, just zipped up. Just unzip it, drop it into your flight plan folder. And what we'll do, make sure you install yourself a Spitfire or a Hurricane. And we will get you going very, very shortly. So what I'll do, guys, is I do want to grab a quick... I do want to grab a quick refill of my coffee. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes. I'll leave you guys to it, and we'll be back very, very shortly, and we'll get going into the new sim. Well, not new sim, into the legacy sim. All right, back soon, guys. Alrighty, okay, so... all right, let me use it. So for those who are wanting to join in, if you are using Join FS, which is this neat little program here, just make sure you've set to the global session is all you'll need to set for this one. All right, let's go into here. Okay, so we want to do our flight planner, and we want to go load. 520. There we go. All right, now I should make sure that my controls are set up, which hopefully they are. Okay, good. Okay, that's good. Yep, north wheeled, and then we're going to quickly change. Alright, what is... Where is my active sky weather? Okay, active sky weather. Other control is live weather. And... So we're looking at currently 1100. Okay, that's really not working for me today. So let's do this one. 11 should be 11. What was it? 18. Okay. And we'll go change airport, but we'll change it to, change our starting location. Oh, that's awkward. There is no taxiways there. Well, I'll just leave it set to active runway then. And I'll make sure I taxi off the runway as soon as I can. Alright. Now, of course, this is always the terrifying part with the older Sims, is that I have no idea if this is going to crash on me or not. I feel like it's about to. It's crashed on us previously in a previous stream, and it takes Prepared takes so long to load. It's always a terrifying moment. Alright, so let's, in the meantime, minimize a lot of other things. Alright, so... I need to go back and do all my model matching again. Let's go for... The awkward sort of silences, everything sort of just rolls over and collects itself. Okay, let's go for, actually, you know, let's do Bravo. Yep. Twin prop can be should have Submarine here, should have a dash 8. Twin engine prop. Okay. Llanada. Alright, so we're all set. Almost loading in there. Good night. Good night, Paul. Thank you very much for joining in. We'll see you next time. Great to have you here if you're the stream that you were here. Alright. Alright, scan models. There we go. Alright. As I said, it's always a terrifying moment with this this sim, because it's always so... It's funny how I get used to the quirks of the new sim already so much, that this one's own little quirks always terrify me slightly more than anything else does. Okay. Okay, let me look here. Sign, basic setup there. Okay. Good. Okay, let me get off the taxiway. Or get off the runway, rather. Let's get off the starting location. I'll give us a good chance to have a look around the outside tonight. I'll try and remember my camera controls, because I've used them for a bit. I absolutely love Robert James Richardson's work, because he does freeware, and the quality of his freeware, although it's not perfect, but he does some really wonderful representations of what is often some really quirky aircraft, and also some very iconic aircraft which don't get covered by anybody else. Like, he's covered like the entire Meteor family. And he's covered the late models of Spitfire and Seafire that a lot of other developers just don't simply cover. And as I said, he does all this for free. It's just an amazing set of work that he does. It really is incredible. Alright. Right, I don't think as many people might be joining in, but that's okay. Let me just bring up my maps, make sure I've got everything that I need. Okay. So many AI aircraft have already spawned in. Okay. Okay. Alrighty, folks. As I said, let's do a bit of a. As I said, we're not. This aircraft is not strictly exactly an aircraft from the Battle of Britain, but it's the closest that we can get to at short notice. Alright, in the meantime, everything is rich. Material is rich. Good. Alright, I am ready to go. Alright, let's head off in to the beautiful blue skies over the United Kingdom. Alright. This aircraft has this particular version of the Spitfire. The original Spitfire is powered by Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. This one was a Rolls-Royce Griffin, which was a higher powered variant of the engine. Oh, my gear seems to not be retracting. That's awkward. I probably should have checked some. Oh, I bet he's actually modeled the proper gear. Either that or that was awkward. Probably helps if I turn the battery master on. That's awkward. Okay. Quirks of freeware sometimes. There is something about the sound of Rolls-Royce engines, whether they be Merlins or Griffins, that is just absolutely amazing. I'm looking forward to when somebody does make a Merlin engined aircraft for the new sim. I think it is going to be an epic time. Well, actually, we already know that somebody is, because we know that Aeroplane Heaven have confirmed that they are planning on releasing a Spitfire Mark 1 for the new sim in the relatively near future. Well, actually, they haven't put it. I don't think they put a time stamp on it. Actually, they just said that they are. They just confirmed that they are working on one. Yeah, for those who are interested, yeah, we are flying in Lockheed Martin's prepared V4.5. And we are flying in Orbix's True Earth England with all three of its variations. It really does take a moment to think about that during so many airfields were created like almost overnight throughout the United Kingdom, and so many squadrons were there deployed, and so many pilots from not just from England but from all over the world, all over the Commonwealth, especially served to protect democracy and protect freedom, and because England was essentially alone for over a year. It was alone really until America finally was dragged into the war. But England was sort of the only sort of beacon of freedom as sort of a democracy in Europe for a very long time. And the threat of invasion was very, very real, and it's really interesting to think about. Many of us have kids that are here on the stream here, and to think about there were young men that were climbing on board these aircraft that were flying these aircraft and risking their lives, that literally were not even old enough to drive. They were old enough to fly a modern, at the time, a very modern, very powerful fighter aircraft, but did not have but were not legally allowed to drive. It's a fascinating juxtaposition that youth in times of conflict get forced into, and something that we must all strive to minimize the chance of it happening again in the future. Also, can I just say that it's really great that that you guys are that we are all sharing gamer tags and stuff like that. This is awesome. Again, it's all about sharing that sense of community with each other and building each other up, and showing the positivity that we all have as part of a community here. So thank you so much for those who offer to share themselves and welcome to the community. That's awesome. It really, it makes me happy because it means that we are all embodying what we talk about in these streams, and how we do strive to lift each other up and make each other better. Oh, okay, just so you can show off your landing scores. Okay, well, you know, you can have an ulterior motive. We'll grant you that, but we'll say it's for the sake of community there, Aladdin. Love how this aircraft can just simply be trimmed out very easily, very beautifully. Now, I'm curious, normally, does he sometimes models reflect the gun sight, not always. Okay, turn on. This off. Rockview, hello! Welcome to the stream, my friend. I hope you're doing well tonight. Probably, actually, we might even go for a visit over London, of course. And that's it. So one of the, of course, for those who of course know the Battle of Britain, you know, one of the most famous parts, of course, is the speech that Winston Churchill made, the you know, known as the few. What's interesting about the full text of that speech, though, if you ever read it, is that he praises not just the pilots of Fighter Command, Royal Air Force Fighter Command, but he also praises, in the same context of the same part of the speech, he also praises like all the men and women of the Royal Air Force, because at the time, the Air Force was the only chance that was the only so the Air Force and the Navy were the only arms engaged in combat, but the Air Force was the Royal Air Force was the only combat arm that was actually able to take the fight to Nazi Germany at the time, because I mean every day and every night, you know, so Fighter Command would rise into the skies over the United Kingdom and, you know, protect the British Isles. However, it was the men of Bomber Command that were every night fighting their way through occupied airspace to actually to engage and bomb enemy the German industrial heartland every night, and that is something that is sometimes, it's definitely not as glorious as you know, and it's a bit like the Spitfire. You know, I said absolutely love the Spitfire. It's a beautiful airplane. Like, seriously, how can you not love the Spitfire? Like, it is an amazing airplane. But as much as the Spitfire is the beautiful part of aviation at that time, the stalwart and a lot of the work was done by the Hawker Hurricane, which was definitely not as elegant, but was far more rugged and far more versatile. In the same way that, you know, Fighter Command was the fighter jocks and fighter pilots are very much the rock stars, as it were, of the aviation of the time. However, it's the men and women that did the less glamorous jobs of, you know, Transport Command and Bomber Command that are just as important as well. So we always have to remember that it's not just about necessarily the rock stars or the sports stars but it's about all. And like I talked about before, we always talk about we talk about servicing and thanking people for their service and stuff like that. It's not just about those who volunteered their service. It's about those around them that didn't. The kids, the children of people who are serving, the spouses, the parents. So always something to be aware of with that as well. So I always sort of make sure that we talk about not just about. It's not that we celebrate; it's we commemorate and we acknowledge. So a bit of a rank there. My family served in various services of various armed forces over the years. So it's something that I'm very, very conscious of. I'm very, very conscious of. So we're going to be coming over Manston very shortly. So we might come into that one there. Actually, you're doing really well. So flights have been great today. Flights have been very, very interesting today. We did some landing challenges earlier, and now we are in Lockheed Martin's Prepared, paying homage to the few, remembering the few on Battle of Britain Day, the 80th anniversary. Alright. Now, I know this aircraft traditionally does not do inverted flight very well, because actually, no, this one should, because the Griffin, unlike its earlier Merlin counterpart, the Griffin engine is actually fuel injected rather than carbureted, which means that we can maintain inverted flight for a reasonable time. We don't have to use a negative G turn to be able to keep our fuel going to our engine there. There is not a new landing challenge yet, unfortunately, no. So we were still working our way through the family landing challenges. We did two tonight. Our community, our crew here chose the ones for us to go on to. And we started in wonderful Canada, doing the approach into Toronto, and then after that we went on to Chile. Okay, not quite a Douglas Bader, but we'll see how we go. Okay. Watching the airspeed indicator. Okay, trim nose down for this. Now, I find MacLeod, there's actually a War Thunder, there's a War Thunder map around this area, if I remember correctly. We were talking about War Thunder before. You know, cruisers. You know, I think about the visuals in here that we're looking at here. He was asking before, so Ozyman was asking earlier just before about the visuals in this compared to Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I think about this and go, okay, so this sim costs the same as what MSFS does, the base edition. Well, it depends. It depends how you look at it. If you buy the academic edition of Prepared, then the base sim costs the same as the base sim for MSFS. If you buy the version that most people should buy, then it is 4 times the price of the base sim of MSFS. But you still need to then spend about another probably $200 to $300 to then make it appear anything even remotely close to what MSFS does. Now, are there as many aircraft available for MSFS as there is with this one? but that will come with time. Now there should be, if Orbix modelled it correctly, because this is the White Cliffs of Dover, if Orbix modelled it correctly, there should be a chain home radar station, which is part of the memorial, should be modelled along here somewhere. Yep, there it is. There's the chain home radar. And you know what? I'm actually going to grab a quick screenshot from out here. So we're just going to quickly pause. Definitely doesn't look as good as it does in MSFS. That is absolutely for sure. That's maybe what we should do. Maybe we should go back to MSFS and actually see how the two actually compare. We should do that actually. Maybe we'll do that after this, after we've flown through here, after we finish this little mini flight. There we go. See, can you spot that I used to be a photographer? So I'm always sort of trying to get that right, just the right shot. There we go. Should be able to crop that one nicely. Look for that one coming up on the Twitter very soon. Okay. So yeah, that is the chain home. Where is it? Yep. So they're not quite perfect, but yeah. So there's a museum here. That's the the museum for the chain home radars there. So they haven't modelled them accurately, unfortunately. I kind of would have thought Orbix would have done that. But it's a museum that actually, because that was the big advantage that the Royal Air Force had, was the fact that they knew the Germans were coming. Because they were the first, actually, the chain home radar centres, radar towers that were used throughout the United Kingdom to provide advance warning that the German Air Force was coming. So we've got the castles there. Dover Castle. Fascinating place to visit. Reddit, yes, they are. They are the way to White Cliffs of Dover. Absolutely. We'll just do another orbit over here. So I always remember, it was always hilarious when I transited across to France from Dover to Calais, and it was hilarious because you actually technically crossed the French border in Dover when you're heading over, and you cross the UK border in Calais when you're heading back into the UK. But we actually arrived so early for our boat. Well, we were on the first boat out for the day. We actually arrived so early. There were actually French customs weren't actually on duty, so we all just got waved through. We didn't actually have to go through French customs, which was really awkward when my my traveling companion at the time, when she came back, when we were coming back into the UK, she actually faced a lot of trouble coming back to the border, because they're like, how did you get... They could see that she arrived in the UK, then they're like, when did you leave? You never left the UK, you never entered Europe, and yet here you are in Europe trying to come back to the UK, and it was like, well, this is awkward. And that was a bit of a challenge to try to explain that. It was like, yeah, it's because the French weren't on duty on the day that we left. That was a really weird and awkward conversation to have with British. That was really cool. Confirm with the propeller and the pilot looking out to sea. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Though I don't think that would be somehow I don't think that would be modelled in the sim though somehow. Yeah, it was really weird back then. As I said, and that's when stamping was still a thing. It's less so now, which is something, by the way. It's always weirded me out with the US. So I've travelled in and out of the US a lot. The US is one of the few countries I know of that doesn't actually stamp you out. They stamp you in, but they don't stamp you out, which is really weird because it's made a couple of conversations I've had with US customs officials very awkward because it's like they can see where I've come in, and especially when I'm coming in and out for business regularly, they're like, you back here again? It's like, yeah. It's like, are you sure? It's like, literally, I've left. Like, I'm coming back in. But because nobody stamps anymore, it's very hard to prove sometimes. And I'm just like, yeah, this is... Especially when I was going backwards and forwards across the US border into Canada. I was like, yeah, okay. That was a fun, interesting, unpleasant conversation to have with some Customs and Border Protection officers a couple of times. Yes, exactly right. It was started as a bit of a propaganda tool that was to help encourage people to help grow their own vegetables, and that they should grow carrots because it improved your eyesight. And it even made a feature in a couple of various propaganda films put out by the British Ministry of Defence throughout the Second World War. Very right, Braytag. British. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, sure. I may have to look back at that on another trip. It's also amazing to think that, despite some urbanisation, really, the terrain that we are flying over now wouldn't have looked. It wouldn't look much different from how it would have looked in 1940. A few more houses here and there. Maybe the city's definitely a bit bigger, but this part of the countryside here down in Dover along the coast here, this would not be dissimilar from what we would have seen had we been flying over this airspace in 1940. Ah, yes, it was always important to hide the technology as much as they could. And funnily enough, and speaking of radar, though, it was also the fact that so countermeasures to radar, of course, were pioneered by the British, which of course pioneered radar as well. So people may know of chaff, chaff or chaff, depending on which part of the world you're from. So that was originally called window. Was what that was originally called? And it was small little strips of aluminium, like aluminium foil, just like the tin foil that you get, that you wrap your food in. And these strips of this were carried in the belly of bombers, and then they would be just opened up and just dispersed into the slipstream. And to blanket German home defense radars to provide cover for British bombers and British aircraft on fighter sweeps, aggressive fighter sweeps, and the latter stages of the Second World War. So it was very interesting. As originally, chaff was called window. There you go. Completely useless information for everybody for the night. I must admit, it's funny actually. As much as I like my MSFS, I've had Orbix True Earth England for a while, but I had issues with it when it first came out, so I uninstalled it, and then I've recently, when I last edited my last reinstallation of Prepared, I gave it another go and I've installed it, and I've actually found that I found that obviously they've fixed whatever issues there were with it, because the performance has definitely improved. And visually, it looks a lot better as well. Like, I'm pretty happy with this. I mean, it's not perfect, as I said, well, neither is MSFS, but this is still pretty awesome. Bit of wandering there at the moment. But one of the things I think I'm really starting to value more and more about the new sim is that it's a lot more. It appears, at least from a user perspective, that it's a very much more balanced about how it uses resources than legacy sims are. The one thing that terrifies me though is these, when the sim freezes, locks itself while it loads the next lot of photo scenery. It's like, heart stops. It is sort of like, yep, okay, beep. It's just like terrifying moment waiting for the sim to just crash. Alright, now we'll be heading over Gatwick shortly, and as I said, we're going to land at Biggin Hill, but we might do a quick flyby of London as well, and have a look at London before we do our final landing at Biggin Hill. Depends if my frame rates look after it, don't die suddenly on me. Alright, so okay, so trim. Good, everything looking good. I'm really hoping that Robert Richardson continues his work with the new sim as well. I genuinely hope he does, because as I said, I have been a huge fan of his work for many, many years. I think he does some incredible stuff, especially the fact that he does it all for free. He does a lot of the really strange stuff. As I said, if you go to his site and have a look, even if you're not flying in the legacy sims anymore, just have a look at his work. And as I said, hopefully we'll see him come over to the new sim, though I haven't seen him confirm either way yet. But I would love to see him bring over some of his aircraft over here, particularly because he's the first aircraft of his that I actually got to know. And one of the reasons why I fell in love with what he does is that he made a Shackleton, which is a fascinating aircraft. It's originally it's a maritime patrol aircraft. It's actually technically a derivative of a Lancaster. So the Lancaster, of course, was a very it's a stalwart and a very well known 4-engine bomber of the Royal Air Force over the Second World War. And it had its direct descendant was a Lincoln, which came in right at the very end of the war and saw limited service post-war. But there was another derivative, which was the Shackleton, which was powered by, funnily enough, Griffin engines, the same as what the Spitfire is. And it would serve. It actually had 8 Griffin engines, 4 on each wing, but driving but 2 engines were coupled together to drive a single set of contra-rotating propellers. It was designed, it was optimized as a maritime patrol aircraft as for endurance, and it's a noisy, oil-leaking brute, and it was an airplane that I've always loved. And he's the only developer who's ever done a rendition of it and released it. So I wanted to, as I said, I found it, I was put onto it, I found it, and I love his work, and I discovered his work that way. And, oof, all of the frame rates dying. All of the frame rates dying. And then I discovered all of his other work, and as I said, he's been an amazing developer to follow and work with over the years. Oh, he is working on it. Oh, fantastic! That is awesome. I haven't looked at his front page for a while. That is awesome. Yay! Yeah, I know there was a big oof there, as a lot of I think a lot of AI objects just got loaded in. I think as well. Of course, that is Gatwick. We'll turn over Gatwick and then we'll head towards Biggin Hill, but we may overfly Biggin Hill actually, and then have a look at the city. I don't believe I've ever actually flown out of Gatwick. And oh, there's my Sims freezing again. Unfrozen, and we're good. I've flown out of Stansted a couple of times, and Heathrow a lot. Never flown out of Gatwick though. Okay, yeah, yours is lags for the approach as well. Yeah, I think it's just as it loads in a lot of the objects is one of the things that will do it. Alright, let me have a look at... You can see our London City loading in the distance there. So what we might do is we might... we will head to London, do a quick fly through of London before we land at Biggin Hill. If my sim doesn't crash on me, I haven't put it under. I feel like I'm putting it under. I honestly feel like my sim is struggling more with prepared with a 3rd generation sim than it's running with a 5th generation sim. Like, this is interesting. Because as I said, apart from flying in, as I said, we still fly prepared every week, because when we fly our flights in the, with Air Hauler 2. But we're flying in Australia where there's not a lot of stuff to render. Whereas here in the UK, there's a lot more to render. And I haven't seen my sim struggle this much in a hot minute. I think probably there was that one time in KSFO, or Anchorage, where we lost it in the MSFS. I think it's probably the only time my systems worked harder. Alright, so we'll head up. I said, and we'll go to EGLC, and then we'll follow along the Thames. I think these stutters are going to get worse as we get closer to London. I think I spy the O2 Arena there. I wonder if it was because it was loading in EGLC. That might have been one of the reasons why it lagged, I think. Alright, let me just check the VREFs on this one. So we'll do a pass over the top of EGLC. Not sure if I've got it installed at the moment though. Yeah, I don't think I do. But there's the Thames. Oh, actually, no, I might. Isn't it funny? Like we just because so this is Orbix's EGLC. So we can't really. So this is actually really interesting because this really demonstrates that it's not just a port over. Like they actually did a lot of work in the new sim. And it's so funny, like flying through here, the system is absolutely terrible. Like I'm really suffering with these frame rates here compared to the new sim, which theoretically requires more hardware power than Prepared does, and yet it looks so much better and runs so much smoother. Of course, the landmarks that everybody was upset about that Orbix ported over. These they definitely ported over rather than designing new ones. But again, of course, Orbix did fix that, which was great. You know, they did acknowledge that it wasn't good enough up to standards, so they did go back and fix things. I remember actually sort of being many of these places when I was living in London. Definitely, though, I have to say that no matter what, even just base, no add-ons, with no add-ons, the new sim is just light years in front of this one. Even with all these add-ons, the new sim is still light years in front of this with no add-ons. Like, I just don't understand how so many people are so negative about the new sim. It's like, have you seen what we're coming from here? Like, the fact that, like, just think about this, like, if we're looking at this, like, we've got barely any of the auto-gen here. barely any autogen being produced, and we're struggling with this sim. And yet, in the new sim, we've got all of these buildings are rendered, and we had some issues during that live stream that we did in London, but that was because of the other AI traffic that were the other fellow aviators that were there. Like, this is just, it just boggles my mind how, like, yeah, okay, the new sim's got a few issues, but compared to this sim, which has got hundreds of dollars worth of add-ons in this, is just, oh wow, that's just nuts. Motley Aces, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the crew. Great to have you on board. Alright, so let's depart here. Let's head over to do our landing over at Biggin Hill. It just boggles my mind. Genuinely, it boggles my mind. Check my nav maps here. Okay. So 4 knots out of 280, so pretty much wind's calm. So we'll do a straight in approach, I think, to... We'll do 2-9. So apparently prefers is 2-9, so it looks like we're going to do an overfly and do for runway 2-9 today. I forgot there was a crosswind. I thought the crosswind had been closed at Biggin Hill. Apparently it's still open. That's good. Alright, so we won't do the straight in for 20. We'll break overhead and turn into, come in on the preferred runway for the winds here, which is 29. So having said that, I've just watched the meta just refresh. Come on, prepared. Don't die on me. Yeah, that's what I thought he was closed. Yeah, that's right. Okay, good. Okay, in that case, we've watched prepared. So in that case, let's have a look. This is going to be our approach runway. Okay, throttle back. One 30 knots, I believe, is yep, speed for flaps. 140 for gear. So throttle set to idle. Though I think we are going to have to go mist and re-enter pattern because I don't think we're going to get down. Oh, yeah, no, we will adjust. Gear traveling. Gear down and locked. 130 knots. So only one position flaps. They're either in or they're out, and they're giant air brakes worth of flaps in the Spit. Now, of course, one of the challenges of tail draggers is that you fly them down. You don't stall them down because you want to keep the tail. You don't want to land 3 wheels. You want to land with the main gear, and then gently lower your tail. It's always a challenge to flare tail draggers for that reason. Whoops, a daisy. Easy on the brakes. It's been a hot minute since I've flown a tail dragger that can do that kind of speed. There's just something beautiful about a Spitfire. Even one that's, there's just something amazing about it. Okay, let's roll this out and we'll taxi over there to the edge of Beacon Hill. So Beacon Hill was a major fighter command station. And it's still open, obviously, today. It's still open. It's primarily using for business travel now. So sort of short range, sort of both international and intra-UK business travel. A lot of GA sort of biz jets use here because it is still very, very close to London, but doesn't charge the exorbitant fees that London City Airport does. One of the other challenges of tail draggers is being able to see out of them as well, because they are very challenging. Because you literally can't see over the engine, so you'll often see tail draggers will actually taxi with a serpentine sort of pattern. It's actually to allow you to actually look out the side of the aircraft to see where you're actually going. Little overkill on that turn there. And you got to be careful you don't do something like that on an aircraft with a very narrow wheelbase like the Spitfire does. Alright. There we go. We'll shut that aircraft down. There we go. I said, it's just, that was an interesting little excursion tonight. Thank you very much for indulging me in that one tonight, folks. Because I think it was a very important little bit of extra, something a little different that I did want to fly tonight. That was an important day in history. These days in history, as I said, they're very important to commemorate and remember. Because celebrate is, as I said, celebrate's not necessarily the right word, but we should always definitely commemorate them and hopefully learn from the past. And ways that mean that we can hopefully not repeat the past, and that's always an important thing. History is meant to be learnt from, so we can hopefully not repeat the mistakes of the past, hopefully. But then again, we're humans, and that is not necessarily something that learning from our mistakes is not necessarily something that we are very, very good at. But you know, that's pretty much how it goes. Okay, all right. So let me quickly catch up on chat here. This goes with agency. We have a good old chap there. Real life magic roller. That's right. But well, hello. Well, there you go. All right, folks. That does round out the stream for tonight. Thank you very much for joining me, folks. And as I said, it's an interesting day today to be commemorating the Battle of Britain Day and commemorating 80 years since then, and of course all the other events that happened today as well. But I do want to say once again, folks, thank you very much for joining me for our landing challenges and then indulging me as we've gone here into prepared as well. So folks, what we're going to do is we're going to head out and head off for the night. Good morning, Black Wolves. Hello. As I said, unfortunately, we are just about wrapping up the stream, but that's okay. Folks, don't forget, so what we're going to do is we're going to go spread some of the Nova Wing 24 love. We're going to go see a good friend of mine, of course, one of my favourite fellow streamers. We're going to head over to have a chat to Thorny Flower. But folks, in the meantime, I want to say thank you very much to each and every one of you for supporting me. Thank you very much to my new subs, guys. You rock my world. Thank you so much to everybody who tunes in just to watch me and join me on these adventures. And I hope you enjoy these as well. And I thank you for tuning in and sharing these experiences with me, because it's always great to be able to share the love and the passion for aviation, real and virtual. No problems already. It is great to have us. All right, guys, we are going to go show Thorny Flower some love. So thank you very much for joining me. Take care of each other. Safe skies to all. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next stream. Plan is, hopefully we'll be back on Thursday this time. We'll be back in prepared and flying more cargo around Australia. But in the meantime, folks, stay safe, stay healthy, be good humans, and we will see you on the next stream. Take care. Safe skies. Bye for now.